Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. I've got a great update for you today. First of all, the end of the EIDL grant program. The letters that people are getting, these final rejections of the EIDL grant program. And the question, what else is there beyond EIDL grants, depending on what you're looking for as an entrepreneur or a small business owner. Then a quick news roundup, oil prices going up with the threat of the Russia-Ukraine war. A new article sympathizing with small business owners that you might find relatable, and the continued downward trend of Bitcoin and what we might see in the coming days and weeks. A jam-packed video today. Thanks for watching. If you're new to our community, of course, consider subscribing, turning on the alerts. We would love to have you in our near daily updates. Plus, tomorrow I'm doing a live webinar to talk about a few things, but most importantly, we're announcing the results of the largest EIDL survey ever. Some really interesting trends there. For any small business owner or entrepreneur out there, you'll likely find this very useful, so you can tune in to the webinar tomorrow. We're going to do that at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. Of course, if you subscribe, you'll get a notification when we go live. Okay, before I get into the major news, if you're a small business owner and you need help, you want to grow, you want to reach more customers, you want funding, be that grants or loans or other financing, check out Skip Premium. I know so many of you watching are already Skip Premium members. You're getting exclusive webinars, exclusive videos, and one-on-one support. It's amazing to see all of your reviews. So if you could use help, here are the available spots we have tomorrow. There's a few left, 5:30, 7:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Those times are Pacific. Go to helloskip.com/join. Choose the premium option. It's risk-free. You'll get to connect with someone on our team personally, a 30-minute call to help you with your situation, whether that's new funding, new customers, new business, and anything in between. helloskip.com/join. Here's the letter many of you have been getting from the SBA. It's the final EIDL grants denial. Okay, since December 2020, we've all been talking about targeted EIDL grants, these $10,000 grants. If you got this 10K or 15K, you love it. If you didn't, because of the low income provision, you hate this program. But there's a good chance you know about it and you followed it. Here's one of the final denial letters. Not eligible because the program has ended. Let me read it here. The Targeted EIDL Advance Program ended on January 31st, 2022. Due to statutory limitations, unsubmitted targeted advance applications cannot be processed or approved after January 31st, 2022. Reevaluations are until February 15th. That was last week, so the final call is over, and many people who did this last-ditch effort to get 10K are getting these denial letters. So as far as we know, there's no more recourse when it comes to EIDL grants. So what's next for you? Well, there are other grant programs. If there's a grant program out there that exists, we're going to cover it. We have our $1,000 grant program. We picked several winners last week. It's free to enter. If you could use $1,000, if I had to guess, probably 50 or 60% of you watching this video have already joined our $1,000 grants program. So if you're in the minority and you haven't joined it yet, go to helloskip.com/1K. It takes a few seconds to sign up. When you do, we will also send you additional grant information, links to our grants roundup, links to some of our funding partners, and more. So it's not just about entering our giveaway, but giving you other resources, because we know many of you still need funding. Of course, EIDL loans are still being processed, but in terms of the targeted EIDL grants, that's over. Okay, the news roundup on the economy. Oil prices approach $100 a barrel. In case you missed it, earlier today I posted a video on the last major Russian invasion, the Russian-Georgian War. It was a personal story because I was there 14 years ago when the Russians invaded Georgia, saw the troops on the road. So I shared some of my experience from that time and how I'm using that as a lens for the situation that's unfolding now. I'll link to that video above, but the long of the short is Russia is a major gas and oil producer. They supply Europe with tons of oil, so prices are going up. Because of this threat, oil, natural gas, and agricultural prices rose as escalating tensions over Ukraine threatened to disrupt flows of natural resources from Eastern Europe to world markets. Here's the price of Brent crude futures. You can see on December 31st, $77 a barrel, and today that's up to $96 a barrel. And Biden rolled out today what he called a first round of sanctions against Russia. How are you feeling about the situation? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear. Now moving on slightly, this is still economic news, but more specifically tied to small businesses. This is from the Wall Street Journal today. Worried about inflation and supply constraints? Try being a small business. Larger companies have used their heft to turn higher demand into increased earnings, but smaller firms are adding debt and burning cash. Really interesting piece. Small businesses are bearing the brunt of supply chain pressures and rising prices, with many tapping their cash reserves or taking on debt just to compete with larger rivals. Of course, so much of this depends on the type of business, and what's interesting is the data that I'm going to share tomorrow. It points out a couple interesting parallels, but also that businesses are optimistic. At least the skip community is optimistic. But in this piece, it talks about the challenges many small businesses are facing. Here's one takeaway. More than 12% of small companies surveyed from late November through mid-January said their businesses will never return to previous levels of output, according to the Census Bureau. Another one here, in late January, nearly 27% of small businesses tracked by Gusto had less than 1 month of payroll expenses in reserve. That's 1 out of 4 businesses had less than 1 month of payroll expenses, up from 21% a year earlier. The majority of those businesses were concentrated in service industry. The article talks a little bit about some of the PPP programs as successes, getting much needed cash, but still points out the fact that I emphasize too. Small businesses are still struggling. Small businesses are paying higher prices, and you could use more funding and support for your business. 10 today on crypto and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, most crypto has been going down as the stock market has been going down over the past few months. Bitcoin traded close to a 2-week low as fears of a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine prompted some analysts to predict the largest crypto could slide towards the key 30,000 level. Bitcoin was little changed today, touching a low of 36,372. Other cryptocurrencies fluctuated today amid political uncertainty. Bitcoin dipped below 40,000 over the weekend and kept weakening as the Ukraine crisis deepened. Here's the 6-month Bitcoin look. It reached a high of 67,000 on November 8th, and right now it's about 37,000. So hopefully you didn't buy Bitcoin around here, but I know many folks did, especially in the late 2021 run up. That's today's quick roundup on the Russia-Ukraine situation, inflation and supply chain issues hurting small businesses, Bitcoin continuing to go down, and the end of the targeted EIDL advance program. We'll find grants for you if you stay tuned here. I've got optimistic news to share with you tomorrow on our live webinar. If you want funding help, helloskip.com/join to get one of those spots for tomorrow. I expect those will book up in the next couple hours. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.